Oh, go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. You said you want love. You said you want trust. You said you want love. You said you want trust. But girl, you go both ways. Girl, you go both ways.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to With Audacity, the podcast where we try to educate, uplift, and promote, doing everything unapologetically and with audacity. And today we have a very special episode, and we are joined by three special guests. Today is our Siblings with Audacity episode, really our sister episode, because we are all joined by our sisters. So, to kick it all off, we're going to all go around, introduce our sisters who we have here with us. So, I'm going to start first since I'm talking, and I want to talk about my sister first. So, my sister is here with me. My little sister, she's probably going to kill me for saying that, but my little sister, Kelsey, is here with me today, and I'm so
Hello, hello.
excited. If you're watching via Zoom, Kelsey and I are in two different locations. So we're not in the same room, but we're always together in spirit. I guess that's the right terminology. So
Yeah, that's real cute. That's real.
real cute, real cute. So yeah, Dr. Jazz, telling me about you and your sister.
Yes, like I'm so excited. This is my baby sister, who's not really a baby anymore. But this is Jordan, and we are in the same location. Like this hasn't been happening too often. So she's here with me at my house. Who that is? Would you care? Who that is?
Y'all know it's K Woods and K Woods too.
The Incorporated. Okay.
Incorporated 1991, 1993. There we go. This is my little sister Kayla, and literally K-A-Dub squared. Yeah.
K-A-Dub squared. All right. So really, it's just one big sister circle today, doing it with Audacity. The sisters are doing it with Audacity this episode.
But shout out to the brothers too.
Oh yeah, shout out to the brothers too.
I actually talked to my brother today. We had a whole call. He's so sweet. So
yeah. So, before we dive in, because this is the sisters episode, that is a good talking point, Jazz. So I know we are all joined by our sisters. Shout out to Maya and Kelsey. But let's all go around. How many siblings, just so all of our Audacity fam knows, how many siblings do each of you have so everybody can get to know all of us a little bit better? So, Kelsey, tell them about our family and how many criminals it is.
Yes, so it's 4 siblings total. We have Dennis, my big brother. He's the oldest. He just turned 32, 31.
Baby, that's a baby for you.
Never know in this pandemic. Let's just say 30.
That's a baby.
He's 31.
Okay, 31. I was close. And then we have Jasmine. She's the second oldest. She's, and then me, I'm the third oldest. I'm 24. And then Lewis is the baby, and he just turned 21. So it's 4 of us total.
That's our plan.
Yes.
Yeah. Dr. Jazz, give us a breakdown of you guys.
Yeah, well, you can do it. This one here.
Well, I am the youngest. I am 20. My sister is 30. And then we have my brother who just turned 40. He lives all the way in New Jersey. Yeah, my mom was a little crazy with that one. We're 10 years apart, but you gotta get it how you live.
He said that too. I love it. We are all 10 years apart, and Jordan is here.
Yeah.
K-Dub Incorporated. What y'all got?
It's just 91 and 93. That's it. That's it. That's all. Co-founder.
You see is what you get. I love it.
Okay, so So really check in. Now that y'all know a little bit about us and all of our siblings and how we're broken up, clearly we got some, a little bit more besides the woods. The rest of us got a little bit more of a sprinkle. Sorry, brothers, y'all couldn't be here. But
I said, and there's no hate against the brothers. We just would have been looking like the Brady Bunch on the YouTube. It would have been so many little boxes.
I'm telling you. So, yeah, Lewis and Dennis, I'm sorry, but next time. So just to check in, we wanted to do something fun, something quick, just to get the ball rolling this episode. So we're gonna let the siblings answer this one. And this can apply to any of your siblings, not just me, because you guys love us. That's why y'all are here with us. But just if you guys have a quick story, a little 2-second story, we're going to kick it off with some quick check-in questions. So, siblings, have you ever wanted to disown your sibling, throw them over the roof, chop them into pieces? If so, why? And go.
Don't confess to nothing now.
Probably Lewis, the youngest one, but you know that, Jazz. We could be hot. It's hot and cold. I've never disowned him, but it's been times where if I could throw him over the balcony, we would have thrown him over the balcony. As kids.
Yeah. I think the only time that I almost wanted to disown Taylor, it was like when we were really young, and I had a bear named Corduroy. And that was she guilty. That was my favorite bear. I still have Corduroy to this day. And Kayla took some type of pleasure in making sure that like all his limbs were torn off. So Kayla would like tear off his head. She would tear off like her arm. Yes. And my mama would just be there trying to sew him back. And that like, it was just like, at one point I was like, what's up? What is up with this? Like, I literally, like, I can see Corduroy and he's still looking limp because all the stuffing ain't in.
She's painting me out to be like a terrorist. But Kara was not a very good sharer. And like, I, of course, younger than her, didn't understand what a prized possession was. I just realized that, we're sharing everything else in this house. And this the one thing, like, I didn't know boundaries as a child. So, I may have acted out. But I think the only time I wanted to disown Kara was because I felt that I was disowned already. So I'm gonna tell y'all, make it real quick.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. I didn't have to say anything.
Go ahead.
So we have been sharing, like I said, everything. They grew us up side by side. Like there's no age difference. And shared a room, everything. Oh. And it was time. Yeah, it was time to clean the room, right? Something that's just a regular time, right? All of a sudden, I'm noticing it's getting a lot thinner in the room. I'm like, okay, mind my business. And then you just peep that every time Kara picks up something, she's leaving the room. They moved out right in front of my face. Nobody said a word. Nobody prepped. Nobody said anything. We have pictures of us holding hands as we're sleeping. And then all of a sudden, whoop, she gone.
I moved to the next room. And when I say next room, it's literally the next room. Ain't like I moved.
But let me ask you this: when you don't know any different,
I made the executive decision that day. It's not like I was planning on it.
And what do you do as an executive? You run it by the staff. Nobody told me a thing.
No, you don't.
They were just gone. It was just like, go to sleep. It's over.
We're still crying for you.
What? No, you heard what Kayla said. I didn't know what boundaries were. I just needed a little boundary. So she just up and left? I didn't.
That's
Dr. Jazz, what y'all got?
Jasmine probably got more stories than me. I probably was a terror child to her. But...
yeah, because Jordan's so young, she probably don't even remember most of the time.
I wouldn't say I wanted to ever disown her. I felt like I didn't want to share her. It's like she was like the baby doll, and I was like, I ain't want my cousins holding her. Y'all can't do her hair. Like, this is my sister. Okay, so I wouldn't say I wanted to disown her. Maybe if she ratted on me, but I feel like I can't really remember. I was always getting myself in trouble, so
I just be staying out the mix, honestly, trying to defend her for my mama. I'd be like, no, don't do that. No, she okay.
I did.
I don't have any. Nah, not that I can remember at least. And if so, I've been forgiven.
There we go.
You see how I forgave. Kayla still ain't forgave. She bring this up all the time.
Oh my God.
How would it? It just hurts. Right now, I couldn't express myself to my own sister.
Oh, here we go. All right, y'all. Next question, please.
Okay. Did any of your siblings do anything weird, kind of strange as a kid? Like, did anybody do something strange that y'all want to share? Uh-oh.
Well, she wouldn't know me as a kid,
Yeah.
but as a child, Jordan could not go to sleep without strawberry milk. Y'all, it's weird, right? Like a 6, 7, 8-year-old child, like I would have to get up out of my bed to go down, because she also wouldn't go downstairs by herself to fix it, because it's not like, oh, let's just get a strawberry milk that's prepared. No, like actually make the milk, like
pour the
strawberry
syrup in there, stir it in
every night. But anyway, that's all I got.
A nightcap.
Like a nightcap, literally. And it was like, and if we ran out of strawberry shit, syrup, please. It was no sleep. Like a terror. That was your weird thing. But
that is true.
I we had a thing for popcorn as a child, so I understand.
I still have a thing for popcorn.
It was very strange.
But I wouldn't call it weird.
Lewis
is weird. Lewis is weird. Like Lewis still to this day, he eats anything. Like, boys just always have an appetite. Like Lewis will get a pot, a little bit of oil, and just will start pulling from the fridge
hot stuff
and just start whipping up like anything. Anything. I'm just like,
good now.
It doesn't look appetizing, so I'm just like, oh.
Well, I ate the pancake he made me. I don't know what he made it out of, but I ate it.
He'll use his resources and get the job done, but I'm just like, what are you eating? Like,
that
very weird. Always hungry.
Yeah. He learned how to feed himself.
Yeah.
He was the youngest. He didn't have a choice, but yeah, he was a little strange in the kitchen. But I did taste some of it, so maybe I'm strange for trying it. So,
yes.
I don't know, Carrie and Kayla. I know one of y'all did something strange.
Oh, just kidding. No, besides her beating up my stuffed animals, I think. And then, like she said, I don't know, me and Kayla were just we're still very attached. We grew up like we were twins for no obvious reason.
So, our initials are the same. We try to spice it up.
We used to have the matching outfits. And, like I said, she wouldn't go to sleep unless I was holding her hand. I feel you when you wake up in the middle of the night, Jazz. I feel you on that. I do.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. Well, that was a good check-in. That was real cute.
I feel bad for Dennis.
You said what now?
I feel bad for Dennis. Y'all just keep going back.
Let me tell y'all something. Dennis is his own.
He's on his own kind.
His own person, okay? Dennis is his own person. If you meet Dennis, he's his own. Dennis marches to the beat of his own drum in all aspects of life. He's the coolest person ever, honestly.
Yeah.
He marches to the beat of his own drum, okay? So
yes.
That's how we
one of a kind for sure.
Yeah. Carrie, you love him though. Like he literally marches to his own drum.
I think support it.
Same. Yeah. That's literally how we sum it up. See, Kels, we knew.
He's just we got to see it to understand.
Okay, but anywho, so to really dig a little deeper, now that we've got some of the funny stuff out, so really like the sibling bond and our sister bond, I think the older that we've gotten, the more we realize, how important it was. I know for me, I think Kelsey and I really got closer probably when Kels got to college. Because that's when, because I know Kelsey growing up was a different human. She was something else. And then when she got to college, she blossomed into this, I don't know, it was a beautiful little flower. So our bond really strengthened then. So how important is the sibling bond to each of you? Karen and Kayla, y'all holding hands, Jazz waking up in the middle of the night. So, how important is that bond to each of you? I'm going to start with Jordan just because she's a little quiet right now.
The sibling bond is really important to me. I'm not gonna say that part because that's gonna be the answer to another question. But sorry. Now the sibling bond is really important to me because of the age gap. It took a while though, but I had nobody else to talk to, like talking about it. Like I had friends, but my sister was always gonna be my friend, no matter what. So I don't know. I love that she always, no matter the age gap, she still was gonna like make an effort to hang out with me and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely important. I feel like God knew I needed Jordan. From like being 10 years old, like, oh, you getting a sister? And I'm like, what? Okay. Like I had no idea. It was just, something new. And then as I'm like growing and going through my teenage tumultuous years with, and just her growing up as a child, it was like very like, oh, I have to be responsible. Like somebody's coming up after me. Like I gotta do better. Like,
Yeah,
so
I feel that.
yeah, I felt like it's really important just to be leading by example and also to be like together. Like it's interesting how many people that I know that are not close to their siblings, and it's like, that's your sister, that's your brother, and I couldn't imagine not being like her friend as well.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I'm not cry.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that Janet was beat into us. It is like, this is your sister and you only got one.
That's it.
So like at the end of the day, when everybody's gone and everything has been said, ate or whatever, your sister is gonna be there and you only got one. So you need to treat her like she's the only one and she's important. And I feel the same way as Jazz. Like I tell people all the time that my purpose in life is to be Kayla's sister. And like that's what's gotten me through. That's what's gotten me through a lot of things. To just be like, you got to keep going, or you got to do the best, or you got to make sure that we're gonna be all right. Because it's Kayla likes to think that she's my dependent, to the point where she'd be like, she'd be like, so where's my monthly check? And I'm like, baby girl, I don't have no dependents. I don't have no child support. What are you doing? What are you talking about? But Kayla thinks that she's my dependent, and so I'm actually working. So me and Kayla will be okay. That don't make no sense.
That's see, I in person, I mean, like in the store, I've called her my mother before, and like the cashier looking at me like, and looking at her like,
it's not my child. It feels like it.
No, in her wallet, she got a picture of me as a baby. I'm her child.
Oh,
My child.
Kayla, how's a sister bond to you?
It's become more important. I think over the years, I was the person that was like very invested into my friends. Even with it being a small group, I've always had a small core group. I was heavily invested in that small core group. So like one thing that we used to kind of differ about growing up, half these people on the podcast have been in our home. All of Kara's friends, she is a homebody, and our home has been the spot for years and years. And I was the first one. If I had something to do, an option, I was like, I'm trying to get out, even with all of them coming in. And so sometimes like I felt a little bit of the shadow, but then I had to learn to embrace it and realize it was the best thing for me. And not unfortunately, but I learned through some of my friends that have fallen by the wayside, just kind of like, okay. And I started to really pay attention to the importance of being a friend with my sister versus just seeing her as my sister. But as Kara, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's cute. Because Kayla would, like Kayla said, Kayla would go out and she wouldn't invite me to come out with her. And then I would go out and I would invite Kayla to come. And I'd be like, how come I didn't get, like, I want to go to the movies? And she'd be like, no, you good.
It was always only, I was very protective, and just in comparison, which I mean, a little sibling, a big sibling. Kara's she has quality and quantity of friends. So she has a big group, but they're quality people. I have a very small group. When I say very small, I mean very small, and they're quality as well. So I was just kind of like, was already me and three other people, and then just with my sibling, it's like I'm still at the house. So yeah, she's right about that. I wasn't the most willing to invite to go places, but half the time, because people over here, I was impromptu with her at all of her events, so I never, I guess, looked to even see the comparison of how she'd actually want to come. I kind of saw it as like, why would you want to hang out with me and my little friends? But I feel like that's a hard stereotype that a lot of people might go through, who are the younger siblings at least. So it took me a while to realize that I had a really good role model to look up to that was no longer in my bedroom, but down the hall.
You know what I'm talking about?
Sweet. Yeah, so sweet.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Kayla, I will say Kayla's one of the funniest people that I know, and so I'm surprised she ain't came out her little shell and became Wanda Sykes for y'all.
I am very shocked.
Is that one of your favorite things about her?
That Kayla, yeah, I think for sure. Kayla's hilarious, but also Kayla, the one of the favorite things about Kayla is like Kayla is vulnerable most of the time, and maybe it's just to me because I'm her sister, but I'm not really vulnerable to people. I don't do that. And I think that it's like super brave to be vulnerable and be like, I'm not okay, or I'm having a bad day, or something like that. Because like, I guess as an older sister, it's kind of just like, no, you need to power through it, and you need to. And Kayla has done a wonderful job telling me like, hey, you can be vulnerable to me, and I'd be like, thank you.
And I honestly sometimes feel like I'm overly vulnerable, and I try to like take from Kara. I'm like, but Kara don't care if you ask around. So I try to get like some of that on me. So it's almost like a fluidity of what we're exchanging between one another.
Yeah, we learn from each other.
That's cute. Kelsey, what's your favorite thing about Jazz?
Oh wow. I don't know if I can just pinpoint one thing. I felt like out of the sibling group, she kind of had the most motherly like instinct, just always making sure we're on top of things, always checking in. And I think just our parents like really stressed like having a tight bond. They always said like, we're not always going to be here. So when we leave this earth, like y'all are all each other has. So always make sure that y'all stay close and keep in contact. And I think the distance that we had growing up, just like location distance, I think just made us want to grow a stronger bond. And so like whenever we would get together for like holidays or summers, like we would just cherish those moments because we didn't get to see each other like on a day-to-day basis. So I just admire like our bond, and like all the Jazz is like one of my biggest role models. Like I brag on Jasmine like all the time. Like my sister's a lawyer. She went to Tuskegee. She did like I talk about her like all the time. Like I'm her biggest fan. So but yeah, sibling bond is just important. So just to have someone to look up to and that role model. Because like it was cool to have brothers, but to have like a sister that you can talk to about girl stuff and just relate more. And like she said, like we definitely started to like grow a stronger bond like once we got to college. So I think we just had like more to talk about because we have like a 5-year gap, but like just being able to talk more about just adult stuff, because now like we both, well, I pay rent, you have a house, but it's just like a lot of more like day-to-day things that we can like talk about and relate to, and it's just always love. So
yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Kelsey, Jazz?
Kelsey is what that's my girl. She's my favorite little person, honestly. My favorite thing about Kelsey is Kelsey is quiet. Like if she's in a room, she's probably quiet. And she's just chilling and she's observant. But she's when we're together, Kelsey is probably the one. She says I have the motherly instinct, but really she's the one who's gonna like bring us all together and make sure that everybody's enjoying and having a good time, even if she's the one who ends up in the corner kind of quiet. But like she's gonna plan it all out, make sure everybody's having a good time, make sure everybody's enjoying themselves. And then like she may be over there in the corner chilling, doing whatever she's doing, but like she's put together like the whole day. And like she don't care. Yeah, she's like bippity boppity boo. And like she don't care if she gets credit for it. She doesn't care about any of that. But like she just has like Kelsey has like a really good heart. Like she put Lewis's whole like 21st birthday trip together, and like we were able to surprise him. Like literally Kelsey did all of that. You know, like she just has a really good heart. And she doesn't care about getting credit. She doesn't care about any of that. And so she just, like, I just admire, like, people who have a good heart and they don't care about, like, all the praise and all that, even though they need it and they deserve it. So that's, like she just has a really, and she doesn't know it. Like, Kelsey, you don't even know. Like, she just,
like, beautiful.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I don't know. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just, and she just grew to be that person. Because I watched that transition of her. Like I say, she's really sweet, and she don't even know it. She be pretending, but sweet. And then she's Kelsey at 24. Kelsey's taking care of herself, does a really good job. She's doing all these things, and she's very ambitious.
Like
Maybe
your
because she
sister.
likes to travel and shop. I think that's the motivation. Maybe I don't know, but whatever it is, she's very ambitious. So I admire that about her. Whatever the goal is, whatever, I don't care. But she's still very ambitious. So yeah, those are my.
Wow, thank you. That was beautiful. That was really beautiful.
I love you.
All right, Jordan, you up?
Well, I wanted to say something.
Oh, of course, Jasmine wants to go first. Go ahead, Jazz.
Just only because what Jazz was saying, I was like, well, Jordan does that. She's like, I feel like my favorite thing about Jordan is she, like me, wants everybody to be celebrated. Like, it don't matter what it is. Like, this is public at this point, but like, I called them. I'm like, y'all, I just got this promotion. Jordan, like, bet we having a party. Like, it was no question. Yo,
period.
Like less than 24 hours, I got off the plane to a party. Like, like spread out food, alcohol, like everything. People, like family, like what? How did decorations? Y'all still got the decoration. It's so cute and so thoughtful, and it's just like, for me, like, you want to, and not getting the credit, just wanting you to have a good time and be like celebrating, giving
you deserve it.
Oh Lord!
I put together a whole graduation for her.
Y'all, an actual ceremony gave as the like a commencement speech. Like, it was everything. Like, people had roles. It was recorded. Like,
wow.
Just, and this was during the pandemic when we didn't have an actual graduation. So it was like, I walked across the stage that she made, and I wasn't, we weren't even together, y'all. That's the thing. We weren't even in the same space. But anyway, that's my favorite thing about Jordan. She gonna show up and show out, and always just gonna let you know that you deserve. So that was what I wanted to say.
You're so nice.
We don't raise them up right, baby.
Okay, all right. We're gonna take.
Hold on, Jordan has to go.
Guys. Okay, hold on. Okay, before Jordan
has to go.
Oh, I was just gonna say that my favorite thing about Jazz is that she knows how to always uplift me. Like, she'll always like give me nice compliments and things like that, and that, like, those small things, like, they're really touching to me. And so I just love how, like, she's always thinking about me, and like, just the small things is what I really love. Like, small things that she don't even notice that she does. Like, that's what I really like.
Well, you're beautiful.
Thank you, Sissy.
All right, this is just.
We can take a break.
I'm telling you, we need a sponsor from Kleenex.
While we go get some tissues, we're gonna take a quick break and hear from our musical artist, True the Star, who you also heard from at the top of the episode, and we will be right.
And shout out to our artist also, Kevin King. So we have our musical artist, True the Star, and Kevin King with all the beautiful artwork.
Both way, baby girl, inside supposed to go. Don't wanna take it too fast, just wanna take it slow. That girl let me down, she love me in the cold. That's what I get for getting around with you.
Let you, baby, from a mile away. And I know you don't want me, you ain't gotta say nothing. I know it's real, so it's the deal. You're not gonna be playing with me and my fears.
Right, and we back. Hey y'all. Y'all was just listening to True the Star. We appreciate you. And y'all saw that beautiful artwork by Kevin King. But we got one more question for y'all. I want to hear from you, Lawyer Jazz. Can you share something that, I know we've been talking about, like, how great our bond is and all that, but there's always room for growth. So can you share something that you want to grow in your bond with your sister or any of your siblings for that matter?
So with all of my siblings, like I said, my dad and, our parents always pushed us to make sure you guys, y'all have each other. It's the four of y'all, make sure you guys remember that. And so there's always, we make sure that we see each other, but there's always going to be a little bit of distance between us. So I've always wanted, of course, it could always be better. We could always talk more. We could always check in more. We pretty much talk regularly, but in my mind, of course, I want us to do more because the four of us don't talk or FaceTime all together more.
Right.
Because the four of it's hard for the four people to get on the same schedule. And
Right.
the four of us are all separated. I do think that's something that I want for the four of us to make sure all four of us stay connected and stay bonded. Because I think all of our separate bonds are good. Like I talk to Dennis and I are good because we're the older two, so our bond is something different. Lewis, that's my baby, and then Kelsey, that's my sister, and that's just a totally different connection. But I think for the four of us, I would love for if we could just get on a thing where the four of us as a unit, our bond continues to grow, and we just do like weekly check-ins, monthly check-ins, just to make sure
Yeah.
that C4 as a whole, like we continue to grow and we make sure that we're good, and outside of our parents, we know what we're doing. So that's what I want to see in our bond, like us check in together like as a sibling unit and we know we're good. I think that's the one thing we can improve on and grow in.
Yeah.
And as far as sisterly, I don't know, Kelsey and I think our bond is really growing, and I know like we don't hear from each other. It's like, okay, what are you doing? Like, have you lost your mind?
Right.
I think
Right.
I don't know.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Have you lost it? But I think Kelsey and I probably just continue going like we're going, and then like I know I really do try, like Kara said, to maintain like that big sister role, but I think I have gotten to the point where like I'll open up with Kelsey and like tell her things that are bothering me too. So I do want to get a little bit more open and just like break it down a little bit more, like, and be more vulnerable with her because she's grown now, so she understands. So I think that's the only thing that I would like to do differently between me and Kelsey.
It's very transparent.
Yeah. Kels, what you got?
You kind of nailed it. I mean, I think just as a unit, definitely just continuing to grow in our bond. I think we had started doing like monthly Zooms, and then we just fell off. So I would love to I guess me being the planner, I'll get back on that and try to plan monthly like just Zoom chats, because I know we're all in different places in the country and time differences, so it is always hard to get on the same page. But yeah, and then also I like I said, I've always just cherished when we were able to see each other. So planning more trips. I mean, we've mentioned the siblings trip, so planning that sometime for next year, because I think it's always just been with like the parents and us. But I think like the trip that we had back in August was just really special because it was just us. And I think just us all like being adults now too, it's a little bit more different. So I've always enjoyed that. But I think with us, like you said, just continuing to be more open and more vulnerable, that's something I've kind of struggled with as well. So just continuing to do that and just seeing kind of what the future holds. But yeah, I love our bond and I just wanted to continue to grow. So
sweet. This is
K-Dubs.
K-Dubs.
What you got, Kayla? I'm put you on the spot.
What was the first question? Sorry, that was like a twofer.
I just wanted to know, how would you like for your bond to grow?
So I think it's already grown a lot more. Even like we said, we were basically raised up as if we were twins. But I think one of the ways we've been working on is our communication. Like Kara kind of said earlier, I'm a lot more vulnerable than she is, and I've somewhat taken upon myself to like always ask her exactly how she's feeling and how she's like handling stuff, because I can talk a lot. And like sometimes my stories go all like anyway, and I'll have to remember when I'm talking to Kara, sometimes I'll have to remember to ask her how she's doing, and making sure and checking out her, even though she's the bigger sister, to still see about her. One way she's really helped me is even though it's only a 2-year gap between us, she is a little bit further along in life than I am, and I'm happy for her. So I've been able to get kind of sneak peeks on, I'll call it a real adulting in real life. And so I've been really blessed and lucky to have that, to kind of get a little bit of an eye-opening as far as maybe what I need to do, the steps I can take. She's real big on our financial future, which I appreciate. Even though sometimes she reminds me I need to get on that bandwagon a little bit harder. But the fact that she's, I said I'm like her dependent, but the fact that she still looks out for me in that way, and lets me know about things. And with her getting her degree and just having somebody to admire and to truly see someone that just continuously levels up, and not even saying that it's effortlessly, but she makes it look that way. So I think so with me getting older and starting to come up with some obstacles of my own or things I'm starting to face, the fact that we've been able to grow closer over the time has really helped, because like I said, I see her more as a friend and as a person itself rather than just my sister. But I don't know, Kara, she's pretty great. And she doesn't let me forget it. But like I said, I'm just really lucky because like I said, a lot of my friends, specifically my small friend group, they're all older siblings. I'm the only one that's the youngest sibling. And there are times like we'll be conversing and I don't see eye to eye with them sometimes because I'm just not in that headspace. I'm the youngest. I've only really had to look out for me. But with our relationship growing, I've like said, even though I'm the younger sister, it's been really nice to kind of break that barrier between us and to get closer in our own personal relationships. And I was calling her every day during my lunch break. So we're up to that level now. So I think, I don't know if I can get any closer than that.
It's true. Like Lawyer Jazz said, when they go off to school, it's different. Because Kayla and I were in the same household and we talked. And then when Kayla went to Troy, we were talking every single day. And then when she came back home, we stopped talking like that much. And I was like, no, like this is going to continue. And so I think that that's one thing that I want to make sure that I'm doing as an older sister is just continuing to like make that path for her. And it's not to just to say that she has to copy my path, but to make it so, hey, this is what is going to come up, or this is what you need to do, or like to make sure that I'm always, giving her an outline of something that is not really a change, but it's something that I just always want to make sure that I'm doing for her.
Yeah, she does that very well. Like as I've gotten older, I'm lucky, I can say, to be in the younger sibling position. Granted, I can't see myself in any other way, but I've been able to realize as I've gotten older and like I said in my 20s and later 20s that I'm very lucky to have a guide that's not my mom, but someone that still looks out for me and that can come to. And
I think that's what's the change is that when she got grown, I started telling her like, this is what I'm doing for you, versus like when they were little, you just didn't tell them because like, you were just, and so now I'm telling her like, no, this is what's being done. This is what you're going to start doing. This is, and so that's definitely the change that has happened recently.
Yeah. I think I'm more open with Kara, actually. I'm like a little weird. She tries to be over. Well, I guess like how the girl talk, how Kelsey was talking about with Jasmine. I struggle with that. Because that, like I said, trying to break down the barrier of seeing her as like just my friend. I'm an older sibling because sometimes like, what? Like you still look at them in that level, and so sometimes like, okay, I have to remember she's only 2 years older than me, so I can't, she's learning. She's just letting me know.
Like this, I was like, I want you to tell me the stuff you don't want to tell mom. Come to me. We gonna talk about it, and ever since then.
See, I can't be no hot girl with Kayla. Kayla wants me to be an old spinster. Like I'm not a hot girl. Kayla's like, I don't want to know about that. Keep that to yourself. But let me know when my check getting dropped off.
My God. Mom, if you're listening, that is not what we mean. Because my mom is gonna listen to this episode. So.
Oh yeah, this is just for me and Kayla. This is just for me and Kayla. I can't be. That's what she's talking about. Like she doesn't like talk about everything.
Not what we mean.
I don't like. We don't talk about like everything. We talk about literally almost everything, but it's still just like we just keep it comfortable for everybody.
For her.
Praise God.
I need to cover my eyes.
Right. What's something, Jordan, you want to grow in our mind?
I don't know, like our communication has grown stronger. Like when Jasmine moved away when I was in high school, that I guess that was like the spark of it all and why we really got closer. And as I like went through high school and she was helping me and things like that. And the same thing once I got to college. But like, so our communication has been pretty steady. Now since she's moved back home, of course, I know her schedule. So I know when to call her and I know what she'll be doing at that time. But I guess one thing I want to grow with is just like spending more time together. Like I used to, Jasmine to say like, "Oh, I'm going this place." Mind you, probably can't even go. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm coming," and I just get in the car and I just go, and we just be going all day. Mom be looking for me. I'd be like, "I'm with Jasmine." Like, it's okay. It's okay. And she came and got me from the house at like 11 o'clock at night. I had to sneak out, and Mom was like, "Where are you?" And I'm like,
I'm not a bad influence.
But yeah, so I guess like spending quality time, like we'll go on more walks and things like that and just go out to eat and just, I don't know, hang out. But it's just her schedule, my schedule, it don't be working out sometimes, but that's what we just got to make that effort, I guess you could say.
Definitely. I would say the same thing. And writing more because we used to write a lot. Oh my God, like pouring out like letters, like y'all front, back, up.
That's so
like so I would mail them. Once I moved to Tuskegee, I would actually be putting them in the mail. So ridiculous. But we don't write much anymore. So I definitely, even though we're like home and stuff, it's weird because we're closer together, but I feel like we spend a little less time because we just both be working.
Yeah.
And I definitely intentionally want to have like a sister date, and just us, something. Maybe we ran into each other at the same restaurant one day. It was like, you busted. Like, you could have told me you coming to my restaurant. And she like, you could have told me. It was so weird. It was like last week, y'all. But anyway, it would have been nice if we'd have just been like, oh, I'm going here. You gonna pull up,
It really was very coincidental.
I'm like, how you here? So anyway, just spending more time intentionally in writing because just, being vulnerable, like y'all said. I feel like I tell Jordan all my deepest, darkest secrets because
this is not like one of my best friends.
Why not? Who she gonna do? What she gonna do?
I ain't gonna do nothing. Who I'm gonna tell, really.
It's my best. But anyway, that was beautiful, y'all. Thank y'all.
So I think that's like the perfect way to talk about the resources. Just like talk to your siblings. Like most of the time your sibling wants to know you as a person. Like Kayla said, know you as a person and not a sibling. So like the resource is create that space to create vulnerability and being like, hey, you don't have to say like your mask is for other people. Don't take your mask off for me and let's talk. Let's be sisters.
It reminds me of kind of like how it's like an unspoken how you treat coworkers. Like you don't really take it outside of work.
Yeah.
And I feel like as siblings, it's like, I was always in the house, but we never did anything outside. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of like, let's go outside together. Let's all be seen together.
Yes.
That's so sweet.
So that's my resource. Create the space.
Yeah, and if you have some ideas, I know I said that we be writing long letters, but if you just want to like do some journal prompts or like need some, I guess a little push to write, there's this resource that we'll drop in the link, the Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective, BEAM, BEAM. They have some toolkits that have so many amazing journal prompts. And like one of them is like, I feel the most safe when, and maybe you can talk to your sibling about how you can create safe spaces together. Just things like that. I really, really, really like them. They're Black, they're educational, and it's all about emotional and mental health where you can continue to be vulnerable with your siblings.
That's sweet. My resource is going to be, we just came off of a siblings trip and no parents, so it was lit. I'm just kidding.
Was at the bar.
See, Mom, that won't even meet that time.
The restaurant. It was at the restaurant.
Don't tell them about the bar. But no, seriously, we did, and it was honestly because at that point you get to see your sibling as like a true person. Because we was, you have no choice but to hang out. And it was super fun because you got to see everybody's grown. Everybody came out of their shell. And then I think my last day, Kelsey and I, literally it was just us. So we got to do brunch stuff. So I say take a sibling trip, a sister trip, any little getaway, even if it's just a day, just to go hang out and without the parents. I mean, just so you guys can see each other as people. I think that's the lesson of the day. See your sibling as a person and as a friend. I think we all just learned that.
I just learned that.
That's beautiful. I love it. And before, we always have to give out today in Black history.
Yes.
Kara's favorite parts.
Yes.
Okay, today is January 25th, y'all. And way back in the day, since we're on this, I feel like women's empowerment, sibling, girl, vibe. Ain't I a Woman? I don't know if y'all know who Sojourner Truth is, but y'all definitely know who she is. She delivered that speech today at the first Black Women's Rights Convention, and that was in Akron, Ohio, back all the way in 1851. But some more recently that y'all also can feel empowered by a woman. Shirley Chisholm announced her campaign to run for president, as the first Black, in 1972 on today, January 25th. So that's our today in Black history.
Wonderful. All right.
Yes. Well, I think this was I think we needed this, y'all. Like sometimes we have episodes and it's like, oh, this is gonna be great for the people, like this is gonna be educational, or like this is gonna be funny, but then it's like we have something that's like, dang, I really needed that.
Yeah,
I needed to be by my sister. All right.
We'll talk after this.
I know, I'll call you after.
We got to catch up anyway.
Oh Lord.
Look. Exactly. Oh. Shout out to our artists, True the Star and Kevin King. Thank you so much for y'all support, collaborating with y'all. Go check them out. Literally, True is super nice. He's such a sweet guy. And then Kevin is so talented. Both of them are. So check them both out. And like I said, reach out to your siblings.
Yeah. And you don't True the Star pretty much live in Montgomery somewhere every week. So go follow him and you can probably find him live at a show every week.
It's true, singing his heart out. And I love it.
Yes.
Before we go, I want to make sure we shout out our charity for the episode. I mentioned already our resource, and this again will be the charity, the Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective. Like I mentioned, there's some great group of Black people actually out of Atlanta, so y'all weigh a little bit. But they're advocates, they're yoga teachers, they're artists, they're therapists, lawyers, just leaders overall in helping the Black community stay connected to their mental and emotional health and also healing. So I know as siblings and as we have childhood trauma, there's so many things that we can connect with our peers and our siblings about. And I feel like BEAM, the Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective, is a really great resource to do so.
Agreed. Wonderful.
All right, you guys. Well, we're going to wrap up this loving Sister Circle episode. I keep wanting to call it the Sister Circle episode. But,
Kayla said we should have the Cheetah Girls background in the background.
Okay.
Because we are sisters. We stand together.
But we're going to wrap up our Siblings with Audacity episode. Really, it's clearly like Sisters with Audacity. But thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all already know to follow us on all streaming platforms at With Audacity. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. You can email us at withaudacity@gmail.com. And you can also follow all of our personal Instagrams. I am YOULOV3_jazz. You love jazz. And we've got Kara at Flips Fro. And we've got Dr. Jazz at Magnolia Soldier. Boom.
Yes, sir.
Go follow our artists. Support. Get you some merch. You already know. And gear up for Black History Month.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
So get your merch, get ready for Black History Month. And remember, a portion of our merch sales will be donated to charity, y'all. So go ahead and shop. Thank you guys for joining us. We out this thing, man.
Peace, love, and soul.
Bye, baby.
Bye.
I love how everybody's like, peace.
Peace out.
You said you want love. You said you want trust. You said you want love. You said you want trust. Well, girl, you go both ways. Girl, you go both ways. Girl, you go both ways.
Everyone's listening and watching you now. Oh my God. Is this thing on? Is this thing on?